letting the kidnappers win. Reacher makes it clear that all he needs is a place to lay low for a few days and some cash
Basta dito, kuya.
so he can disappear. Zachary,
Ano
knowing
nangyari?
it's simple, admits that since Reacher saved his son's life, just as Reacher is about to leave, he grabs the untouched glass of liquor, holding it for a moment before setting it back down. He tells Zachary that if he wants to run his fingerprints, he might as well make it easy for him. Zachary, slightly amused, tells him not to be encouraged, saying he just needs to know exactly who he's killing. Reacher doesn't flinch and simply reminds him that he's
Nagatulo yata to eh.
Later that night, Reacher finds Richard in his room painting. He casually points out how strange it is.
Hello mga madam, mamamalengke pa lang ako.
But Richard says they already talked on the phone. Right then, someone informs Richard that Zachary wants to see him again. When they meet, Zachary says that Richard has already made the news. The record store owner gave the police a solid description of it. The only good thing is that the description is too vague. If Reacher looks like any linebacker on a football team, no one can properly identify him. Zachary then tells them that his team did some digging into it. And after seeing what they found, they're both stunned.
So, kay Mingo, yeah.
Reacher sits across the
Ano yun?
Zachary when out of nowhere, tells Paulie to put a gun on the table. He then orders Reacher to play Russian roulette, wanting to see if he can follow orders. Reacher isn't
Pwede mo ito inubos?
Ay, ubusin ko ba? Hindi, mamaya na. Baka maubos mo sa body ko.
This is the only way forward. With no real choice, Reacher picks up the gun, spins the cylinder, and pulls the trigger. He does this nearly 4 times before Zachary
Carbs na to ba? Magka-carbs ka ba? Kain tayo mga madam.
Naubos yan.
As they leave the room, Reacher tells Duke to return his gun, but Duke refuses. He says dealing with Paulie is already enough, and he doesn't want another loose cannon walking around with a gun. Smirking, Reacher claims he wasn't fooled and knew the gun wasn't loaded the whole time. Duke, keeping a straight face, proves otherwise by showing that the gun is fully loaded. This actually catches Reacher off guard. Reacher then asks what they would have done if he had actually ended himself. Duke, with zero emotion, says they would have handled it just like they did with the last guy. Later, Reacher is taken to his new room. Duke tells him that he's starting work first thing in the morning. But Reacher clearly isn't happy about the schedule. Duke then points out that while Beck might trust him, he doesn't. Once Reacher is finally alone, he thoroughly checks the room for hidden cameras. After making sure no one is watching, he pulls a hidden phone from his shoe and dials Susan. The call is a few days earlier, Reacher sits by the roadside, quietly watching everything around him.
Huwag mo lang ano ng steel wool to ha. Bawal yung steel wool.
Instead of making a scene, he hands the kid some money and tells him to find honest work. Right after that, he sees the man he's been keeping an eye on walking out of the building and getting into the car.
Shout out mga madam, mamamalengke pa lang po ako.
Reacher realizes he's about to lose his target, so he quickly asks the kid.
Hindi ko alam kung anong bibiling kong ulam. So iwan ko muna kayo kay kuya mga madam. Si kuya, yung snack niya, diretso dinner.
That Major Turner isn't available. He then asks Officer Powell to pass on.
Parang basa to dito.
Requesting a callback.
Parang may basa na nga.
Powell informs him that Turner won't.
Tanggalin mo kaya tong galon.
Not wanting to waste time, Reacher asks.
Oh, nagtutubig dito oh.
Powell is stunned for a moment, realizing he's speaking to the founder of his department, but quickly regains his composure and asks for the plate number.
Mapasok sa ilalim ng ano, ng tiles.
Powell tells Reacher he'll reach out when it's back up. Reacher tells him to note down his current location.
Shout out mga madam. Happy Tuesday everyone.
Reacher hears a sudden knock on the door. A voice comes in.
Shout out Crispy. Now lang nakapag-live kasi na-stress talaga ako. Basta.
Without hesitation, he denies any connection. The agents, however, press him for help. Before agreeing to anything, Reacher lays down a condition. They need to track down a specific Asian American man. A few days later, the agents return with the information. The man is Xavier Quinn, a corrupt military intelligence officer with a dark past. Once involved in illegal activities, Quinn was believed to have been shot in the head and tossed off a cliff into the sea. Somehow he survived. Now he's back and working with Zachary and his company, Bizarre. As Reacher and Susan step aside for a private talk, she shares another crucial piece of information. A well-respected agent, Teresa Daniels, had gone undercover inside Beck's organization to expose its true operations, but she has since disappeared without a trace. Desperate for answers, Susan is willing to use Reacher as an unofficial operative to infiltrate Beck's business, find Teresa, and track down Quinn for his own mission. To make this work, she admits that Richard's kidnapping was completely staged. The whole thing was planned to to make Reacher look like a hero, gain Zachary's trust, and get him inside. Over the next few days, the team fine-tunes every detail to ensure the plan runs smoothly. Steven, one of their operatives, is assigned to play the shooter in the fake kidnapping. He practices making the attack look as real as possible, using fake bullets. Even the staged murder of a cop was part of the setup, designed to make sure Reacher had no choice but to go underground. Back in the present, Reacher is ready to execute his mission. He assures Susan that he'll check Beck's estate for anything suspicious. That night, once the entire house is asleep, he moves, using the roof as an entry point. He sneaks inside the same building where the Russian roulette game took place. As he carefully explores, he stumbles upon an underground cellar. What he finds catches him off guard. A fresh, happy,
Hindi ako nakawalis buong araw.
pulls out the hidden phone from Sue and calls Susan. Her first question is whether Teresa is there. Just then, Reacher spots a bracelet. He tells Susan that Teresa isn't there, but she definitely was. Over the call, Susan insists that Teresa was definitely being held there. She asks if there's anything else, and Reacher mentions the half of food. This makes Susan realize that Teresa is being fed and taken care of, even if she was kidnapped. But Reacher quickly reminds her that this isn't good news. If they're keeping her alive, it's because they need her for something, and that means trouble. As the call ends, Reacher spots Duke pulling up in his car and quickly hides. Meanwhile, Susan finishes the call and storms over to Zachary's bodyguard, John Cooper, the one responsible for watching Richard. She demands answers about Teresa's whereabouts. But before things escalate, Guillermo Villanueva steps in, urging her to stay calm. Back at the estate, Reacher tries to sneak back to his room, but he overhears Duke talking to someone. The conversation seems important, so he follows quietly. When he realizes Duke is heading toward his room, he quickly changes course, deciding to climb the outside of the house instead of using the hallway. He carefully measures the exterior, slipping inside just before Duke reaches the door. Duke knocks several times, but when there's no answer, he gets suspicious and forces the door open, only to find the window wide open. Assuming Reacher has escaped, he's about to investigate further when Reacher casually steps out of the bathroom, acting like nothing happened. Duke tells him that they've gathered intel on the vehicle used in Richard's kidnapping. He orders Reacher to investigate and tells him to be downstairs in 2 minutes. Wasting no time, Reacher calls Susan and tells her to get to the location before him. His concern is simple. Jack must not find the car used in the explosion. So according to their cover story, the kidnappers blew up Beck's car before trying to take Richard, killing his driver in the process. If Beck's men locate the car, they'll expect to see blood and brain matter inside. If there's none, they'll know something's off. Reacher understands the stakes. If Beck starts doubting him, the entire mission could collapse. There isn't much time left, and he urges Susan to move fast. On the way to the impound lot, Angel Doll and Reacher engage in a conversation in their car. During this conversation, Angel gives Reacher a lot of new information that he had no idea about. This is where Reacher also discovers that Angel has run a tab on him, and is also aware that he was a cop in the Army. Moreover, Angel reveals how he was in the Army as well. Then, Angel explains how his nickname was given by his originator from his grandma, as she used to call him Angel Doll, since he won the most beautiful baby contest at the country fair. Surprise! Reacher thinks there's no way Angel can win any contest that's involved with you. Reacher then finds out that Beck promotes people from within, but he also finds out that Beck is not the one pulling strings. Meanwhile, acting fast, Susan comes to the scene along with Guillermo, determined to remove the car before Beck's men arrive. Susan goes inside the lot while Guillermo decides to keep an eye outside. From inside, Susan, at comms, tells Guillermo that this is going to take some time since she has wreckage to move. However, Susan struggles to move the car. Hearing her struggle, Guillermo offers to help, but Susan turns him down, stating that she wants him to tell her when Reacher arrives. Meanwhile, in the car, Reacher asks Angel how he is going to persuade the cop to let them inside. Angel tells Reacher that no night shift working police officer will deny a $500 bribe. However, Reacher asks what he will do if this plan doesn't work. In response, Angel just casually reveals his gun, tucked in his pants. Just as Susan's working on pushing the wrecked car out of the way, Reacher and Angel Doll arrive at the scene. Immediately, Guillermo informs Susan about it, causing her to arrive the officer at the reception desk to gain access and take photos of the truck. He makes up the story that his fiancée will find out that there are some belongings of another woman in his car. However, the police officer refuses the bribery, stating that it's just his second week and he doesn't want to be fired. Seeing the officer refuse, Angel slowly begins to draw his gun. Reacting instantly, Reacher knocks the police officer out with a single punch. With the immediate threat neutralized, he and Angel Doll proceed into the lot. After searching there for a few seconds, Angel finds the truck he is supposed to take pictures of, but as he's leaving, something catches his eye. A vehicle that looks exactly like Reacher's car. Alarmed, he points it out to Reacher. Inspecting the car even further, Angel sees that it is wrecked in a way that seems like the truck he just took pictures of is his car. Meanwhile, Susan is hiding beneath the car, trying to stay as quiet as possible. She's also trying to grab the screwdriver that's out in the open. Seeing her reach out to it, Reacher slides the screwdriver under the car with his leg. Moreover, because Susan had already switched the plates, Reacher smoothly dismisses the concern. He insists that it's just another car, one of many similar models in the city. Angel believes that an army cop would know things like these, so he dismisses his concern as well. Satisfied, Angel Doll drops Reacher off at Beck's home. Getting out of the car, Reacher proceeds to head into the mansion, but Angel calls him out, telling him that they are supposed to burn the car that he stole earlier. However, Reacher reasons that he's tired, so Angel decides to do it himself. Upon entering, Reacher sees that his room's door is slightly open. Just then, he notices the maid exiting his room. This immediately raises red flags. His room doesn't require cleaning, making her presence highly suspicious. So, he asks the maid if Duke asked her to search his stuff, adding that he didn't bring anything with him. The maid knows this is true because she didn't find any laundry. After a brief conversation, Reacher lets it slide for now. Attempting to rest, he lies down, but his time to rest is cut short as Zachary knocks and enters. He informs Reacher that there's work to do, then leaves. However, before heading off, Beck visits his son, assuring him that the kidnapping incident won't happen again. However, Richard explains to his father that he is scared for his life every time when he looks at himself in the mirror. Elsewhere at the gym, Reacher has a tense interaction with Paul Bago, aka Paul. Paul inquires about Reacher's bench press numbers, but Reacher says that weightlifting is an irrelevant measure of true strength. Instead, he challenges Paulie to a game that will genuinely test their power. He explains to Paulie that Bavarian arm wrestling is the best way to prove one's strength, a game that Paulie has never heard of. However, eager to prove himself, Paulie takes the bait. Reacher then asks Paulie to place his elbow on the bench pad, then asks him to make a fist, and then asks him to use all his strength to stop him from pulling his hand down. As the both of them are using their complete strength, Reacher suddenly lets go of Paulie's hand. As a result, Paulie ends up accidentally hitting himself on the nose, but Reacher quickly reasons that his hand slipped. This makes Paulie even angrier as the two get ready to take each other's lives. But before things escalate further, Duke arrives and intervenes, putting a stop to the fight. Duke then assigns Reacher a job. He must transport a truck to a drop-off location in New London, Connecticut. The vehicle will be GPS, meaning Reacher can't take any detours. He is also strictly forbidden from inspecting the cargo. Moreover, Reacher is also forbidden from taking a coffee break. The only break he is allowed is when he needs to use the restroom. Sensing this might be another test, Reacher contacts Susan. He explains that they need to determine what's inside the truck without raising suspicion. Susan thinks that it might be possible that Reacher is carrying Teresa in his truck without them knowing. Just then, Reacher reveals that he is on a timeline and that they must hurry. So they agree to meet at a gas station where Susan's team can discreetly examine the ship.
Ako ang maghuhugas dahil walang kwenta ang contract ko.
Before ending the phone call, Susan deactivates the speaker mode and appreciates Reacher for job well done in the impact lot. After his phone call with Susan, Reacher contacts Amy, an old friend of his. There, he asks for her help. When she agrees, Reacher explains that he wants her to run jackets on 2 names. He asks her to get more details about Paulie, Angel, and Duke, giving her the full name. Reacher then tells Duke that he is going to call her in a day or two until she is found out. But Duke tells him that he isn't going to call her. However, Reacher tells Duke that the Paulie is working with him. He is on an undercover. When Duke tries to ask Reacher if he is going out this time, once they all reach the gas station, they are both on the truck, finding out that there is another friend, Dick Bruner, arrives with his canine dog, Fire. However, after a thorough search, they find no signs of drugs or nothing. The truck is completely empty. Thereafter, Reacher tells Susan to ask Dick if Teresa's dog might be there, but Dick explains that Pfizer could smell the dead body. Duffy breaks the vehicle spot. He pulls up, hands over the truck, and watches as the guy tests it back. When all he finds are roads, Reacher plays along, acting surprised. They tell him to hop in another truck and take off to the warehouse. He gets back. Angel calls the same guy from before. This time, he's not questioned. He doesn't trust Reacher and makes it clear that he's suspicious. He thinks Reacher is lying about who he is. He doesn't wait for him to get worse. Before Angel can do anything, Reacher grabs his head and slams it into the table, killing him in one move. He drags the body under the table, making it look normal. Then he steps outside. Duke is already there, honking. When Duke asks what took so long, he just says, Angel works on coffee. He drives Reacher back to Beck's mansion and brings up Angel dog called Beck, saying there's reasons. Reacher acts like he didn't hear anything important, but he says Angel left a voicemail, dropping Reacher off. He mentions he had a take care of while the two is out. In the kitchen, Reacher washes Angel's blood off his hands, and that hands him a strong cleaner that rustles the panic. While eating, he does Beck's wondering why he wants it all as hard to do. And then he doesn't ask questions, and then he sets up coming to his birthday party. Jim comes in, puts away Reacher's dishes, and says Beck has questions about answering his phone. Jim orders Reacher to come along. With no chance to grab a weapon, Reacher follows. In Beck's office, Beck says,
Wait na po.
but Reacher's description of the kidnapper doesn't match anyone from there. Beck starts doubting him, but Reacher suggests the group might have hired new people. He pushes for more details, but Beck refuses and sends him to his room. Reacher uses a hidden phone in his group field to call Peter. She says Paulie once injured two superiors in the military, and that Angel is ready to serve time for second assault.
Okay, Leandro. Oh, God.
But Reacher turns her down, saying the target is too dangerous. When he knows the target is someone who's talking to
Wait.
At midnight, he strips his underwear and swims along the coast. Duffy moved by the car and texts Guillermo saying Reacher is near. Just then, a soaking wet and nearly naked Reacher walks out of the woods, startled. He hands him the bag of clothes, raising an eyebrow as he changes. Getting into the driver's seat, she insists on staying and searching for him. On the way, Reacher explains their plan to make Beth believe the kidnapper.
Whoa.
He also remembers a barn, wind chimes, and a creepy door. Then tells her about Sergeant First Class. At the warehouse, we climb over the text and inside, Reacher shows her Angel doll's code. She stays calm, takes Angel's laptop, and unlocks it with a fingerprint. They find nothing else to read it. Frustrated Duffy, but at least now they know she is there. Looking outside, Reacher spots several people through the train track. They put Angel's ball in one of Beck's cars and drive it into the Standard 13. Reacher takes Angel's gun. While cleaning up the blood of Truckerize, Reacher sees dangerous claws step out and knows that she's inside. They hide the body in container 14 before Duffy drives Reacher back to work. He puts Angel's gun in the bag, strips to his underwear again, and swims back to Beck's estate. Duffy turns her back, but when he hands her the clothes, she sneaks another glance. They part ways, and he swims back, hiding Angel's gun above the rocks before heading inside. In the morning, Duffy is panicked about stupid drivers. Reacher offers to help. Beck tells him to take Reacher into town for shopping. As they leave, Reacher speeds past the gatehouse. Forcing Paul to come aside. Richard warns him not to mess with Paul, calling him a psycho. Reacher asks why Beck let the psycho go in the house. He says the cave is really not small. And the cave is worse than Paul. When he asks about Beck and the cave's business, Richard says that the garbage are only selling drugs. At a toy store, Richard buys an empty toy gun for his father's birthday. While Richard is inside, Reacher calls Duffy and tells her big order is coming in. He says he needs a promotion in his position, but Duke has to be removed. Duffy sends back a fake message from Angel to set a trap. Meanwhile, Richard leaves the store with a shotgun and runs into the door of his classmates. The lead one takes the bag and stops him, breaking the toy gun inside. Reacher arrives and warns them to leave Richard alone. But when they refuse, he fights the trio and leaves them on the ground. At the shipping yards, Duffy and Guillermo spot Beck's trucks departing with cargo. Duffy receives the manifest on Angel. Assembly left his first. They follow the trucks. Back in town, Reacher opens the toy gun together, and Richard throws him away. Richard opens up about being bullied all his life. Tells him They reach the address under the cover of darkness. That orders them to wipe out the entire gang. As Duke and Reacher approach the Staysafe, they only look dark and abandoned because the gang wants them to think no one's inside. Duke insists on going in first and kicks the door open. Reacher takes the chance to disarm him and demands to know where Samantha is. Duke refuses to talk, saying the cave will kill him if he does. After scaring off insecurity, Richard convinces Duffy reminds him about the rules on how to treat detainees and sends him back to watch their food. The story returns to the past, where Richard and Cole meet with General Matsuda, explaining that they need him to authenticate the blueprints as soon as they answer classes. Matsuda agrees and wishes them luck. Later, Cole suggests going to a bar for a drink while they the file, but Richard says it wouldn't be fun. Instead, he grabs 2 beers and a drink.
Ano nagawa mo, ma? Anong bilhin mo, ma?
Kuya,
Oh,
oh,
ayan.
damit mo.
Saan galing?
Ba't ka ganyan? Alam dyan yung phone.
Dami mo kasi.
Grabe si kuya sa ano. Ano nangyari sa'yo, kuya?
May flash.
Hindi, mas malinaw. Sabi ni Tita Eileen mo, kasya daw yung sa'yo damit. Kasi birthday mo bukas.
Ano ba to?
White, di ba gusto mo ng white? Shein yan. Sana kasya sa'yo.
Ewan ko.
Ito lang. Ang ganda, parang Boracay to eh. Naku, apple kayo na. Slice lang po kayong apple. Magugas. Ha? Hindi ka nagugas din.
Ang lagay ito.
May sabon pa oh.
Yan sabon. Grabe yan. Hindi ko na hugasan yung loob yan. Saan ko lagay dito? Hindi ko na yung hugasan yung loob niya. Ito loob.
Hindi, antayin mo. Antayin mo. Bakit? Apple tayo mga madam. Apple. Ah,
Yung
punch lang yan. Le! Hindi na naman yung itsura mo. Ayaw na po yan. Uy! Dumating na yung pandagat ko. Basang-basa na naman to dito daw. Nirecord ko talaga daw. Yun na. May daga to dito na daw. Shout out mga madam. Sipag. Na, masipag talaga. Pero, nagreklamo na yan si kuya. Basang-basa. Mga madam. Ilipat ko ulit dito. Kawawa naman si kuya. Dapat kasi si Nini hugas eh.
useless yan eh. Hindi naman. Saan magaling yun?
Akala ko nagugas na yung sinini kanina. Hindi pala.
First stop, a tubing facility. Duffy fixed the lock. Back at Texas State, things turned quickly. Reacher aside, tension.
Annalyn Birico, shout out.
Stop being at the
Banat hugas bay habang nagla-live. Na anak ko yung naghuhugas madam na malingki man kami ni madam
Duffy voicemail.
ni Madam Ellen. Nag-live ako kasi hindi ako naka-live kaninang umaga.
Duffy don't like that. Steals root.
Na-stress ako, nawalan talaga ako ng gana sa YouTube. Ewan ko sa YouTube na to. Pero okay lang. Tuloy ang buhay. Wait lang mga madam, magpaksiw lang ako ng bisugo.
He tells Steven that the case men are searching for Angel Doll's
Kasi naguli naman na kami kagabi. Mag-ano lang ako ng bisugo para long life. Long life yung ulam.
at the facility. The case men enter with their guns ready. Harley spots Duffy near the office door.
Maulan dito mga madam. Maulan din sa inyo?
When the phone rings, Duffy realizes no one should be calling if the facility is closed.
Because I can see you.
Steven urgently warns her that the case men are coming. Gunfire breaks out as Duffy and Guillermo take cover and fire back. Outside, Reacher hears the shots and runs into Rusty.
Nagasaan na?
With a plan.
Ganda nga eh.
But when Rusty turns away, Reacher shoots him in the head. Barnes fires a
Sakto sa'yo kuya.
shoots him in the leg, and begins to finish him.
Pa-birthday sa'yo to.
He then aims at Harley, but Reacher stops him, whispering that if he's the only survivor again, they will search suspicious. They need to let Harley live. Reacher shouts her and Guillermo
Because I can sleep to you.
as they finish. Reacher grabs her back,
Wait
climbs
lang.
onto the crate for a better view, and fires at Harley to slow him down.
Tingnan ko kung...
Away upon the
Hala, 12%.
Harley rushes outside.
Pa-charge ako kuya. Saan yung charger?
Effects out and tells Harley to replace
Ha?
once inside. Reacher grabs
So, saan ako pwedeng mag-ano?
the outfit shut.
Mag-charge?
Get out and quick. Spotting the laptop nearby, Harley reports to the case describing Duffy and Guillermo as better relations. Frustrated, the case hangs out. Harley looks at Reacher and says their boss is angry, which is never a good thing. Later, Guillermo buys beers outside a restaurant. that
Shout out 10 million viewers.
not finding Teresa.
Lang mga madam ha.
The missing boy was found alive long after being pursued.
Lowbat kasi to mga madam eh.
Must believe Duffy does.
So, samahan niyo akong magpaksiw muna.
Back at Texas State, Reacher and Harley arrive at the gatehouse. Harley tries to get Harley to help with the task, but Harley refuses. After getting inside, Reacher pushes a wheelbarrow with Carnes and Dodge to the shoreline, while Harley wonders about past disposals. Reacher carries Carnes to the top opening of the tidal cove and throws him in, letting the undertow carry him out. They return to the Russian body and dispose of him the same way. Afterward, Harley warns Reacher that Harley will wander range to the French in the wake. Later, Reacher calls Duffy, who is now driving to join Guillermo at the cabin to get his car. They plan to split up and check addresses from Angel Doll's laptop, including a crate manufacturer and an industrial lubricant supplier. Reacher tells her he has her badge. Outside, Beck summons Reacher to the kitchen, where McCabe's men, Howard and Tank, are waiting. As Agnes serves Reacher coffee, she casually mentions that the beans were processed by a cat's digestive system. While he processes that unsettling fact, Howard makes a crude remark to Annette and tries to escalate the situation. Reacher swiftly takes him down, smashing his head into the table, and checks if Tank wants to challenge him. Tank quickly backs down. Later, Reacher hides Duffy's badge in his pillowcase.
Daming tubig ko yan. Ay, yung likod.
Slice of pie and a note reading Mercy at the cabin. Cooper tricks Steven into giving him a cigarette and then inhales a mouthful of rubbing alcohol. As Steven flips the lighter, Cooper pours the alcohol into his face, setting him on fire. He rushes Steven, stomps him to death, unlocks his cuffs, and takes his coat. Before leaving, he places a cigarette in his mouth and sarcastically thanks Steven for his service. Duffy arrives at the cabin while the call is Steven, noticing the open door. He cautiously enters.
Yung ulam namin kagabi mga madam, tuna. Nagtuna kami kagabi. So, ngayon, magbisugo muna kami. Mamaya ko na yung patayin yung live ko. Ay, mag-live ako ng matagal, mga 3 hours. Charot. Paksyo tayo mga madam. Kawawa naman si kuya. Si kuya na yung nagluto ng ulam, ng kanin. Siya pa naghugas. Sinini kasi ayaw. Humilo. Grabe. Kuya, nasa yung gonteng? Nawawala yung mga gonteng. Ay, kailangan ko yung gonteng. Gusto mo na isa? Mag-uniform ba kayo dapat?
Reacher tells him to lie inside before Square exits his car and approach inside the house.
Ako yan ng gunting, kinasa na. Kailangan ko ng gunting. Kasi ayoko nung may palipit ko eh, may palipit pa to. Yes, bisugo. Oo, hindi natanggal ko yung maayos. Kailangan ko ng gunting.
He gets out and crouches next to Joanne, who opens his eyes and says, right before
Ay, ito pala.
a little later, Reacher calls Duffy.
Kasi yung mga madam, masakit kasi itong ano, eh, palipit. Hindi man na ay natanggal ang ayos ito ni ano, ni Kuya.
Reacher notices the gate
Yan.
inside the house, a machine hangs from the ceiling, swings and chains, and everything is eerily quiet. Following the sound of voices, he enters Beck's study where Beck, Polly, and Harley are waiting. Reacher reports that a drunk driver hit a power transformer, which caused the outage. Beck tells him that while he was gone, the kid ordered a full search of the house. When Reacher asks if they found him, Beck starts talking about a traitor in his home working with the theft. Stays in trouble, Reacher quietly reaches for a metal alarm clock behind him. Beck opens a desk drawer and pulls out a small phone, identical to Reacher's, which was found in a next room. She had been sending intel to the ATF every 2 years. Reacher offers to interrogate her, but Harley informs him that Polly already killed her. Reacher confronts Polly and punches him in the gut, but it has no effect. Polly retaliates, hitting Reacher so hard that he collapses. Richard, stepping into the doorway, watches as Reacher struggles to rise. Later, as Reacher and Harley head to retrieve his body, Harley complains that he had planned to spend the weekend on his boat, but now has to pick up the slack about financial all that. Irritated, Reacher punches him in the stomach hard enough to make him wrong. That night, Richard checks in on Reacher and accuses him of being brave Polly. Reacher denies it, stating that he had Polly. He then calls Duffy to report that a woman is dead, which he was back in the cage already done. The puzzle pieces put into place. Beck's full-time account, the industrial research. Beck is under research, including untraceable firearms. The cage features sales and potions, and his client could be any number of criminal organizations. The next morning, Beck sends the day was called them to the warehouse, and Beck, still covered in Annette's blood, suggests cleaning up first. Meanwhile, Duffy and Guillermo leave Diggy's with coffee in takeout bags when Reacher calls to tell them about his son. Duffy immediately figures out that he's about to meet Finn and tells him to keep his phone on so she and Guillermo can back him up. As they talk, Reacher tells her Teresa is already dead, but Duffy doesn't respond. He leaves his phone on and heads out. On the way, he and Beck guess how the meeting might go. Duffy and Guillermo are already in position, watching the warehouse before they arrive. Inside, crates of weapons are being checked. Beck looks at Reacher and asks if he's ready to meet the boss.
Ano na piraso ng pala
His
ito?
waistband and simply says he's been waiting for this moment for a long time. Reacher and Beck are in the cage warehouse, surrounded by guys handling weapons. Reacher has a gun tucked in his waistband and a phone in his pocket, left on so Duffy and Guillermo can listen. The cage storms in, pissed that Beck hired an ATF agent to clean his house. He threatens to kill them, worries he'll mess everything up, but he missed the buyers he'll expect to deal with. Outside, a car pulls up. Duffy notices a guy carrying a green dress and a garment bag, fresh from the
Oo, kapita.
for Teresa, meaning she's still alive.
Huwag mo nga naman muna.
The cave walks up.
Gagawa tayo, hanap ko nga ng cartoon. Gagawa ako sa ilalim ng stove.
He asks for Reacher's name.
Namimihasa yan. I-stress na ako dyan.
Reacher notices the dress, and McCabe smirks, saying it's nothing compared to what is going on. He mentions the girl, saying she'd already be dead if she wasn't a redhead, which happens to be the client's preference. Loud honking fills the warehouse as the motorcade arrives. McCabe tells Reacher to stand behind him and look intimidating, warning the others not to draw their weapons unless he does first. Outside, Kasparov sits in his car, finishing the call. McCabe tells him the bag being placed in his trunk is just a small payment, not the full amount. Kasparov reminds him that wasn't the deal. McCabe apologizes, saying the sale got delayed. Kasparov throws out a luscious proverb, and McCabe translates it. Give a man a fingernail, he'll take the forearm. After Kasparov and his cars drive off, McCabe tells Harley to find out who's been looking into it. On the way back to
Tapo natin mga madam.
McCabe borrows money from the Russian mafia. Reacher makes it clear McCabe has to pay on time, or he's dead. Meanwhile, Duffy and Guillermo visit the...
Yes, mga madam. Shout out 8 million viewers.
He doesn't know the client's name, but hands over a contact. At Jeff's garage house, Reacher spots chance. Reacher explains why, and she kisses. He kisses back, but she suddenly pulls away, saying it won't happen again. There we go. Then Guillermo arrives, loudly saying we have to move the car. Reacher is surprised to see and warns Duffy to get Guillermo out of there now. He doesn't understand until Richard walks into the alley and recognizes Guillermo as the cop Reacher supposedly killed. On the way back to bed, Richard demands the truth. Reacher pulls over, yanks him out, and holds him still so they listen. He apologizes for that, but explains that he was recruited to find Teresa.
Dancing my way.
At Beth's house, Agnes brings in tuxedos for Richard. Beck asks her to check an actual room for the RSVP guest. After she leaves, Richard and Reacher enter, and Beck notices something is wrong with Richard. Richard lies, saying town bullies were bothering him, but that Reacher handled it. As Reacher is about to leave, Beck accuses him of trying to be Richard's mom. Reacher says he's just looking out for the kids, just as he looks out for Beck. It's his job. Beck warns that people in that job get shot a lot. In Rock Creek, Virginia, an elderly neighbor knocks on Warrant Officer Powell's door, asking if his water pressure is okay. Powell opens the door to find the neighbor being held at gunpoint by two of the case men. They shoot the old man and turn their guns on Powell. One of them calls the case, reporting that Powell has been captured and that their team in Chicago will be sued. In Chicago, in Weekly's office, she gets up to make a hot drink, leaving her sidearm on the desk. Meanwhile, in the elevator, three men attach silencers to their weapons. The elevator dings when they arrive. The men check her office first, but the microwave beeps, revealing the kitchen. One of them is there, but Weekly ambushes, knocking him to the ground. Weekly hides under some desks and logs into a computer, sending a print job to the photocopier. The noise distracts both men, drawing them to the copier room, giving her a chance to run back to her office. They chase her, shooting, but their bullets miss and shatter the glass.
Mga madam, magpakso tayo ng bisugo.
Taking her phone and a fresh clip, she tracks the other guy to the kitchen. Meanwhile, McCabe screams and feeding Powell, while McCabe watches the video chat.
Si Kuya kanina yung yung nagbubugas.
In Chicago, Negan finds
Wawa naman yung cellphone ko, nilapit sa gripo.
He asks her to call 911. She stops and he's a little mysterious instead. When he begs for a doctor, she tells him if he gives up the name of who hired him, she might call from him. He confesses they were sent
Maulan ngayon dito mga madam. Na, hindi na ako magamit ng Hindi naman ako magamit ng Okay na to? Malinis naman.
At the 110th investigator, Wade picks up Reacher's call. Learning Powell was 30 minutes.
Tinamad din, no?
Reacher tells her to send 3 armed officers to check her.
Tinamad gumamit ng... Anong tawag doon kaya? Dampalan. Anim lang siya mga madam. Ano na siya? 100.
Grabs the snowplow keys and shoots the tires of all other vehicles. As Polly and Harley approach, Reacher bursts out of the snowplow, smashing through the garage door. He speeds away, dodging the inbound fire from the gatehouse. At their hotel, Duffy and Guillermo discuss the case. Reacher calls Duffy, telling her to pick him up because the drive was shot out. Before he can explain, the case men chase him on the running into the bridge, Reacher shoots one gun and disables the lights on the Reacher then emerges near town and heads to a laundromat, offering the elderly woman cash to close early. Meanwhile,
Sibuyas.
he enters town, searching
Ala, ano to na siya? Ala!
frustrated, he heads back. In the laundromat,
Yak,
Reacher
magulo.
looks for his clothes in just a small towel. The owners kindly
Parang
bring him
minat
wet
na.
cloth and clean up on cup and coffee. He thanks them, joking that he's better.
Ala, saglitan mo ako ng sibuyas ko yan. Wala pala akong sibuyas. Ay, parang nagpunta ko ng sibuyas.
Beck tries to argue, but McCabe grabs the revolver.
Kaya ka lang kayo magluto ma.
Places it on the table.
Ha?
Beck starts forward, but Polly shuts him up by aiming a gun at Richard's head. Richard picks up the revolver.
Diyan lang sa harap.
But McCabe tells him the odds aren't in his favor. He's got a 20% chance of killing Paul. While Polly will definitely kill Beck. Richard looks at his father, then turns the gun on himself and pulls the trigger. Nothing happens. McCabe tells him to do it again. Richard obeys. Beck panics, offering McCabe anything. But McCabe just laughs and says he wants a match instead of...
Huli na, saglitin mo ako.
Reacher, Duffy, and Guillermo.
Isang sibuyas.
Guillermo's phone company contact pulls up a number from Fort Room. visit Harley. That means Teresa is on
Ay, naman yung isa ko yun. Naglambot na yan.
They don't find her, but they see clear signs of the pit, tied up and drugged. Outside, a motorboat approaches. Harley steps onto the deck, spots water on the floor, and pulls his drum. As he moves toward the deck, Duffy grabs his arm. The shot goes off, hitting the lantern. Flames spread fast. Harley tries to run, but they chase him back onto the deck. Duffy pounds him while Reacher dumps him.
Hindi na kuya, bawang sibuyas. Damihan natin ng bawang.
Nasa kalungkuman. Oh my goodness, nagirito ka! Everly Sim? Ano ba? Cherry Blossom? Cherry Blossom Sim? May ganito? Kamusta ka magkaalam tayo? Pinagbabalik. Ang story na kumapapansin niyo po sa aking likuran, mga kabarkada, ay medyo familiar po ang next item na ikapagyan. Kasi umulit po siya, mga kabarkada, dahil ang pinakahuli ko pong nakuha ay itong honey sucker stick. At grabe talaga yung ginawa nilang update ngayon. Nauubos na lahat ng mga pollinated yung halaman kasi 30 seconds na lang po ang compressor. Talaga nga naman mas madali ng mag-ipon ng honey ngayon. At syempre dahil madali ng mag-ipon ng honey ngayon, mas madami na rin tayo nabibili. Pero yung mga nabibili natin, ang pamahal. Grabe yung pollen rate na 20 sa isa. Hindi na tayo mag-iintay ng 3 minutes. Oh my God. Matamang sprinkler method lang ako dito sa may candy. Tapos syempre, italing na rin natin yung honey suckle stick. At kaya ko nalaman na umulit ko kasi naglabas na po ng listahan kung ano yung mga kailangan natin na plants at ilang honey at kung ano yung mga makukuha natin na rewards. Yeah. Ayaw ko naglalaro ng grow garden eh, oh. Ito naman yung ibig ko eh, oh. Kaya na nagkakawin sa inyo, pero sniper ko kulay green yung ibig ko. Kulay green yung laro. Nakikita niyo ba yung stick ng grow garden?
Kuya, sagutan mo ko. Sibuyas.
Naglalaro. Isipin nyo, 4 na cellphone. 1, 4, tapos 3 mataas. 1, 2. Kasi malaki yung monitor ko, kaya nakikita yung kulay green. Pero, bakit kasi sa lahat ng kulay, green pa? Nag-green na naman yung mukha ko. Oh my goodness. Pero mabalik tayo, napapaisip talaga ako kung sulit pa ba yung GODBLESS na yun. Kasi ang mahalaga lang sa akin kung itong mga anti-tinging, gusto mo makakuha ng butterfly din. Okay na, ako tayo ng food. Gusto kong butterfly. Ay, nagulat ako, may lumabas na butterfly. Yung akin pala yun. Yaw ako butterfly. Yaw ako butterfly. Oh, pwede na dito. So, lumaki na yung honey suckle at para lang siyang lili. Para siyang lili na malaki. Magkano kaya? Ako mag-delete. Tapos magkano kaya ako? Bossing, magkano to bossing? Magkano? 90K. Oo, 11 kilograms na honey suckle. At meron na nga pala ako nakuha.
Lagyan natin ng suka.
At ang ginagawa ata dito ay ginagawa niyang honey glaze. Yung mga halaman sa pagkakalam ko, ay naging honey glaze na sila. Uy, no, halos lahat naka-honey glaze na ba? Oo. So maganda nga po sprinkler na kung kapag gusto mong pataas yung value ng isang halaman. At nagkaroon nga pala ng emergency yung kagabi mga kabarkada. Hindi ko alam kung anong oras yun, pero madaling araw yun. Buti na lang, madaling araw.
Tubig.
Basic sprinkler, dalawahin na natin. At syempre ang ating emergency. Ayan na para, ayan na, naitanin ka. So marami nga pala nagtatanong sa iyo, bakit ko dinidilit yung ibang medical, yung ibang divine, yung ibang prismatic, tulad ng
Hinahin ko na sa'yo.
mapapansin nyo, halos lahat po ng nasa garden ko ay high value ng mga halaman.
Kuya, siguro.
Meron po akong dragonfly at meron po akong butterfly. Importante po na konti lang ang nakatabi dito sa garden ko kasi mas mabilis silang magiging gold, mas mabilis silang magiging rainbow. At syempre, kung mapapansin nyo po, meron po akong account dito na binibigyan ko ng raccoons. Tapos, pag nanakaw yung mga raccoon dito sa aking garden. Kasi yung mga mananakaw ng raccoon, ipapamigay ko po sa inyo. At gusto ko, yung mga makukuha ng raccoon ay high value na mga halaman. Tulad ng infiltration. Kaya huwag kayo mag-alala mga kabarkada kapag nagdilit ako ng beanstalk, nagdilit ako ng kakao, nagdilit ako ng pepper. Kasi pwede naman po yung mabili. Ang importante kasi dito sa garden ko, makuha ko yung mga mamahalin mga halaman. Kaya kung mapapansin nyo, ayaw ko kasi ng marami naka-display sa garden ko. Gusto ko konti lang yung nandito sa garden ko para ipagulong na dito sa pagkakayo kapag marami nakalagay sa garden ko. Gusto ko konti lang. Hindi naman ang butterfly. Ang mayroon ang butterfly, doon sa lahat ng lupo. Hindi lang kasi bago na sila. Okay?
Ito maglalaro?
Dahil sa update nila par sobra sobrang dami ko ng flowers, hindi ko na alam kung anong gagawin ko sa makukuha ko dito. Marami na akong sunflower. Oh my goodness, magiging tapak lang sa inventory ko. Kailangan ko gamitin ko paragi. Grabe, 20 na mahigit yung naipon ko. Wait, sa mga hindi ko parang kailangan ay yung ability nitong butterfly na to, gagawin rainbow yung mga halaman. At actually, binurasan ko siya at malapit.
Kuya, bili ka na sibuyas.
Halaman.
Nasalang ko na yon. Yes, mga madam, shout out 8 million viewers. Thanks for watching.
Tapos ito, lumira na po, ito lang yung bunga niya. Boss, ano na? Rainbow na, boss. Paano malalasan na nagre-rainbow siya? Hindi ko magkakaroon din siya ng patatgang sa uli tulad ng mga bukas na ito. Piliin mo, ilan lang yung mga may limang mutation dito. Parang piliin yung 5 na mutation talaga. Meron ako dito mutation na maganda. Ito. Kapag sinanggal ko yung favorite nito, gawin mo rainbow to, hindi ako magagalit sa amin. Ayan o, gold pollinated celestial moon ay isilipin. Wala mo yung celestial moon kapag na-rainbow to. Huwag na pala mo, joke lang. Baka wala siyang ma-rainbow. Walang feeling ko wala siyang ma-rainbow. Ay, feeling ko wala siyang ma-rainbow kasi kapag naka-rainbow, nakapansin. Ay, oo nga. So, lumipas na yung oras, parang hindi na siya nakapag-rainbow. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
So, kailangan natin ng alay na may limang mutation. Ayan na. Ayan na, napili na siya. Ano yung pinili? Yung chocolate? Yung chocolate tatangkat pusungan, patay tayo dyan. Ay, hindi, isa. Ito, meron dito. Ano yung napili niya? Nasa loob-loob. Nasa kaloob-looban. Oh my goodness, nag-rainbow nga! Oh my goodness, first time ko masilayan yun. Natawad. Sino kaya ito? Wati! Ganda yan, ano meron? Ha? Yung pinadala si Brighter sa akin? Meron? Anong kid? Rainbow Everlinisin? Ano pa?
Everlinisin?
Cherry blossom seed. May ganito? Lemon. Wait.
Kaya ko yung AI.
May ganito talagang seed? Saan nakukuha to? Ay, hindi.
Nagcha-charge kasi ako mga madam. Ayan si kuya.
Oh my God.
Ayan, lobat kasi ako mga madam. So, kay kuya mo na BG ha. Shout out 21 million viewers. Happy Tuesday. Kanina, nasa school kami. Nag-ano kami, nag-orientation. So, nag-orientation na ba kayo mga madam? Na-stress ako sa aking account.
59% pa rin po sa inyo ang hindi pa po nakasubscribe, mga kabarkada. Kaya kung gusto mo magkaroon itong butterfly, mag-subscribe ka na.
Okay na yun.
Binigyan tayo ng mga admin-only seeds. Grabe ito pang itanim na natin lahat to. Oh my goodness. Ngayon lang ako nakatanggap ng admin-only seeds. Oh my goodness.
Ayaw nyo, Ramet?
Patalim yung lemon pa.
Hindi mo man feel.
Okay, tayo natin yung mga cherry blossom. Grabe pa.
Lobat kasi to mga madam. So, 23 na siya. I-BG ko muna to mga madam kay kuya ha.
Bili ka ba si Kuya? Kung hindi lang na din yung laro na yun, baka nilalaro mo pa rin yun hanggang ngayon. Napaka-supportive talaga ng Grow a Garden staffs. Talagang mahal na mahal ko itong laro na ito. Parang napaka-supportive nila. Oh my goodness, ngayon lang ako naka-experience ng ganitong support. Yung talagang, maiiyak ako parang, maiiyak ako. Ayan na mga bossing.
Ako mga madam, may babae naman kaming kasama dito, pero wala talaga. Yung susi ko, wala pa rin kuya.
Hindi pa ako nakakakita ng cherry blossom.
Shout out, 13 million viewers.
Talaga ng Grow a Garden, lahat ng achievements na nakukuha nila kasi sobrang supportive talaga ng laro na to. Parang isipin nyo, hindi na kami nangihingi. Never kami nangihingi, mga kabarkada sa Grow a Garden staff. Yung mga admins mismo ang nagbibigay sa amin, lalo na si driver, mga kabarkada. Itong candy blossom na to, hindi po natin binigay po sa amin ng mga kabarkada. At nung una, hindi ko naman alam kung ano yung candy blossom. Nung binigay sa akin po,
Sus, ilusin mo yan dyan, no?
Ayan na, dito natulog yung parusa. Yan ang gusto ko.
Yan na, nangangamoy na yung paksiw.
The best games ngayong 2025 ay dead.
Bumili ka na ng sibuyas, no? Walang sibuyas yun.
The best talaga nila.
Kumuha ka na sa wallet.
Ganda ng cherry blossom po.
Ano wallet?
Oh my God, hindi ko na pumunta ng Japan. Ay, sakura pala yun, sila tayo. Pares lang ba yun? Kapag kakaalam ko, cherry blossom at sakura is parehas lang yun. Ang ganda po.
Paano ba, Ben?
5 piso lang yun. Kuha ka lang ng isa dyan or 7.
Try natin kumuha ng isa. Kuha natin ito. Magkano ito? Pag bigla siyang lumiit, 15 kilograms na cherry blossom. Magkano ito? How much is this worth? 15,000. Malaki na ba yun? Parang malaki na yun. Mamaya siguro try natin magbenta ng golden na cherry blossom. Pero tignan nyo naman ito. Lemon, gold rated na.
Ang payong eh.
Bakit tumili ito?
Sombrero ka lang, dyan lang sa harapan.
6 kilograms.
Sombrero kung ano, yung...
West na gold pollinated.
Yan.
How much is this worth? 1 million. Malaki na ba yun?
Ang laki na pa.
Bilisan mo kasi kumukulo na yun. Mga madam, bumili ako ng rat glue. Ayan. Para sa mga daga na naman. Kasi bumabalik na naman sila.
Wait, tayo muna natin kumanta yung mga bunga nito. Gawin natin golden o rainbow. Siyempre gawin natin shop. Pero siyempre, ito ang the best ever really the rainbow. What? Anong nagagawa kapag rainbow yung mismong halaman? Akala ko lahat ng bunga nyo magiging rainbow. Meron po ang hindi naman siya. Pero ang laki. Ang laki ng bunga pa. Siguro try natin pagandahin dito para malaman natin kung magkano yan. Manis kayo sa garden ko para may cherry blossom. Oh my goodness, para tayo nasa ibang bansa. Kailangan natin papaganda lahat ng mutation ng mga to para malaman natin kung ano talaga yung pinaka-expensive. Kasi feeling ko parang meron kang tatalo sa candy blossom natin. Either yung sunflower, yung ember lily, pwede rin yung cherry blossom. Feeling ko malaki-laki rin ang bigayan nito. Kasi divine din ko parang divine cherry blossom. Actually, pagkakitabihin ko lang ako mga to para ma-lighting run natin. Para naman marami tayong magiging shock ng mga bunga. Marami nga pa na nagko-comment sa akin about sa bullshit na mutation. Marami nagsasabi na nakakapagpababa daw siya ng presyo. Bakit? Hindi ko mag-get. Bakit pababa yung presyo? Tsaka hindi naman ilalagay ni John Gillian kung bumababa yung presyo. Kasi kung marunong kayong pumasa ng equation, pag tinignan niyo po yung mga equations dito sa chart na binibig ko, nakakagagdag po yung bullshit ng value ng plus 1. Kung pala pagsasama-samahin niyo po yung multiplier ng lahat ng mutation through addition, so pagpa-plus-plus mo po sila, tapos tsaka nyo lang siya i-multiply sa golden or rainbow. So, makakadagdag yung bullshit. Hindi ko nagigit paano siya nakakapala. Grabe! Sobrang swerte ng alt account ko! Nakakuha siya ng sunflower! Samantalang ako, mahirapan ako makakuha ng sunflower. Oh my God!
Ay! Hirap pag may mga buhok, mga madam.
At syempre, kung mapapansin nyo naman, masipag magtanim tong alt account ko, Mar. Masipag yan. Sa wakas, makakapagpagina ka ng Montbelon. Sulitin nyo lang tong update na itong parting na nyo naman si Obre. Sinusulit daw. Ang lalaki ng mga coconut na binibigay nyo. Sinusulit nyo na par. Hanggang ngayon, wala pa rin yung sunflower. Sulitin nyo na to. Lalo na yung sunflower. Hindi nyo lang bentahan dito kapag na-rainbow. Tapos maraming mutation. Ay, nakalimutan ko. Dapat pinahiram ko ng mooncat. Dapat pa ba to? Hindi na ata abot yung mooncat ko para dito. Sayang, hindi ko na pahiram.
Mga madam, ma-overcook na yung ano ko. Ma-overcook na yung ano ko. Paksi, wala pa rin yung sibuyas. Mga madami yung problema ko kung paano kumaano yung YT ko. Kasi okay na yung watch hours ko eh, yung pag ano na lang. Verification ko ayaw. Ah. Isabit mo doon. Isabit mo. Saan ka bumili?
Naku eh. Mga...
Lima?
Okay ba?
Oo, pero nabasa ka man doon. Mamaho na naman yung ano mo. Wala pa uniform ko na yun. Pwede mo siguro hindi pumunta.
Practice.
Kasi wala pa. Umaga kami bibili ng uniform.
Ah!
Ha?
Ano ba yung kanina?
Manood mo na ako kaya ay. Ayan, late yung sibuyas.
Wala bang balita ngayon?
Mga 6:30 ko yung balita.
Gusto ko yung may bagong bagong na ngayon yung pinili.
Dong, huwag ka talagang maganyan, Dong.
May maganda ngayon na, Rapid 12 mo tapos si Gonzaga ba yun?
Tony?
Aha.
Tony Talks?
Hindi, basta yung Gonzaga, sino man yun.
Siguro saga si Alice o si Tony lang naman sa...
Wala akong fan na. Ay.
Yeah.
Uno. Oh,
Mga madam, tingnan natin yung taxi. Man mo daw kuya?
okay na yun.
Yes, mga madam. Balik tayo doon. Ako yung manood kuya, ha? Naka-charge pa kasi itong mga madam. Hayaan mo na. Minsan lang ko lang naman ito gamitin ng naka-charge. Nakalap niyo yung pera kuya. Ay! Ano to? Wow. Palit ako ng damit. Mapagod.
Patay ako dun ah. Huwag mong bahala kayo. Ako po, ako po. Ano mo bahala kayo dun? Ang bobo ko.
Natapos ko ba to? Ma-replay ng live stream?
Tapos mo na yan. Namura mo na kain kumain. Minura mo na yan.